It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. And joining us now is the friendly neighborhood advisor, Mike Jennings. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, George. How you doing?
I'm very good today. What's on the menu today?
So after last week's discussion on life insurance, there were a few people that reached out and said how impactful it was, especially when it came to the mindset in our community. Now, I didn't explicitly lay it all out last week, but I think with everything going on in the world, nationally, locally, it would do some good to speak frankly with each other as a community.
Can we
Um,
talk?
yeah, you're right, exactly. And I might as well round out the other ways that people can protect themselves from everything life is going to put us through, right? So we talked last time about the opportunity of life insurance, and using it as a resource in creating that seed of generational wealth, right? But there are still people out there that are skeptical. Um, yeah, as a side note, I once helped one of my good friends get life insurance, right? And they told me that, for the longest time, whenever they talk to their family members about it, their family actually believes that life insurance is bad luck.
Yeah.
And I'm just, just thinking about how backward that is. It's just something that we have to unlearn and change how we think when it comes to how we value ourselves. Because these are tools that other communities of people have been using for a very long time, and they've created wealth for their families with it. So, going in line with some of the attitudes we have as a Black community, as well as protecting our potential, we need to talk about long-term care insurance, right? Now, it's been said by many authorities on this topic that a significant majority of people, upwards of 60 to 70%, will need long-term care at some point in their lives, meaning they can't handle alone all of the things that we have to do on a daily basis to just take care of ourselves, because of the extensive medical issues that they may be experiencing. This is a problem that becomes very expensive when you think about the different services that might be needed to address some of these medical issues. And the average cost of paying for things like this out of pocket is far, far beyond what most Americans can comfortably handle or will ever be able to handle. So instead of some people choosing, I'm sorry, some people, instead of having to deal with that situation, some people choose to get long-term care insurance. Now, similar to life insurance, this is a policy that will pay out a certain benefit over time, usually on a monthly basis. The difference is that instead of the benefits being triggered by a death like life insurance, long-term care is triggered when you fail to be able to take care of yourself on a daily basis. So this is things like dressing yourself, feeding yourself, using the restroom by yourself, etc. The benefit you receive is used to cover expenses related to your care, whether it's inpatient or outpatient facility, whether it's in-home care, you hire a nurse, home health aide.
Some form of assisted living.
Exactly, exactly. Whatever the case may be. So there's even some policies that allow family members to be paid from this
Yes.
insurance as caregivers, which brings us once again back to the impact that this has, right? So we know, similarly to life insurance, being able to replace income and assets, that long-term care insurance can also protect our assets from being spent down significantly or completely in some cases, a lot of cases, to pay for medical care. People know this, medical debt is a killer, no pun intended. So it's pretty clear how this can be beneficial to many, many people. But we're back to that mindset, right? So George, tell me this. How many times have you heard someone like us, someone that looks like us, say something to the effect of, well, I gave you life and I took care of you as a baby, so you can take care of me when I'm old?
I've heard that. Yes,
You've heard it.
yes, that's a line. That's a
That
line.
is that is that is
And
the
in some
line.
cultures, it's an expectation.
Exactly, exactly. And some cultures are different, family dynamics, we're
Right.
not just talking about one set of people, location comes into play, the different cultures, all that comes into play, right? But that's very clearly a mindset that people have, and people like different generations between me and you, we've heard it, right? So think how burdensome is that, right? How can we expect someone to be able to go to work, be productive members of society, raise their own family, have their own life, all while being able to take care of an older parent or older relative? Speaking for myself, I wouldn't want to stifle my children's potential to take care of me. I wouldn't want my kids to resent me for having to take on that role. And these words that I'm using, being a burden, resentment, yes, they sound harsh, but this is real life, real situations that people find themselves in all the time. And when life gets real, you're either ready in that moment or it's going to be a rough hit. I'd rather be ready well before. So if we as a community want to talk and walk this path towards generational wealth, we have to let our young adults have the time and space to figure themselves out and utilize their potential to enrich their own lives and enrich all of us collectively. Um, and while this may be a prevalent way of thinking in the Black community, it's not just us, right? This is health overall. Like I said, the majority of Americans will need long-term care. So what is your plan for when that very real possibility presents itself? If you don't have one, then I would kindly advise you to reach out to your friendly neighborhood advisor at 315-748-5540. Again, that's 315-748-5540, or send me an email at michael.jennings@brackensfsn.com.
Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and the registered representative of LPL Financial member SIPC. She's America's money maven, and Mike Jennings is your friendly neighborhood advisor.